Welcome to another edition of First Person This Week, our weekly presentation on video presented by the Buckeye Insurance Company in Piqua and the Coverman Dickerson Agency representing Buckeye in Troy, Piqua, Covington, and St. Paris. Our guest this week from Houston High School, and for you folks down in Harris County, Texas, and I know there are people watching this, John Willoughby. It's Houston here, it's Houston there, so we have that out of the way.
I have some friends in Texas, so maybe they might see me.
John Willoughby, our guest this week from Houston High School. First of all, thanks for taking the time, middle of the season. I know it's a busy time for you, and we appreciate the opportunity to talk basketball.
I love talking basketball, so I'll take the time to do that. I appreciate you asking me to.
I want to say this up front. You've been doing this at Houston for 25, 26 years. I've been watching you at Houston for at least half that amount of time. You look a lot younger than I do. We both got kids in school. This, whatever you're doing, looks better on you.
I don't know.
That what I'm doing looks better on me.
I think, you know, with the kids every day, I think they keep you quite young at school here, and being active here at practice, it tends to keep you young.
It looks good on you. It looks good on you. That's all I want to say. I do want to tell you this, John. I've been watching Houston basketball for a long time in the Shelby County League. I love what you do. I love the way you play. You play the game right. And I also want to say this, that your community here is so neat. We come here 3-4 times a year and watch you play. The people appreciate what you do. They're so enthusiastic about the kids. I know it makes it fun for the kids, but it makes it easier for you too.
Sure does. You know, that's part of the reason why I've been around so long. The parents have been fantastic all these years. The community's real supportive. The administration, I can't work for better people than the administration that we've had. It definitely does. If you don't have to worry about, you know, every step that you're taking, your job's a lot easier. So not only have I had great assistant coaches and players, but all those exterior people have helped out, making me, you know, able to stay here as long.
I mentioned the style of basketball that you coach, that your kids have played. That changes from year to year.
Sure
You've got to adapt with the kids. But if you had your brothers, if you could pick 5 kids that you've had of all time to play and put them on the court, what would your style of basketball be? Characterize John Willoughby's style of basketball.
It'd be a full court press, probably man-to-man with the trap, run and jump. I love that. It gets me excited when we have groups that can do that. So that would be my first thing. We'd be a full court run and jump team. Offensively, for the most, even though I'm a guard, basketball has to be played inside. Right. So I would pick a couple of my post players that we could count on day in and day out, getting the ball in there and scoring. And it definitely have to have a good point guard. The point guard in high school is the most important, so it would have to be a good point guard. You're
sitting here about midway of the season as we tape this, at around the 500 mark. Characterize your basketball team a little bit this year. I know you lost some important players, and we're going to talk about last year after the break here for a moment, because I want to do that. But characterize a little bit about your basketball team this year, even without a Josh Redd and a Jake Bonanza.
Well, first it would be a young team. We only have one player back that played last year for me, and that's Adam Mullen. He's doing a fantastic job at the point guard for me. But we're young. I have taken things for granted a little bit in my coaching. I didn't get these guys prepared early enough, and we've talked about that with my team. So it's a young group. We have to coach every little detail of the game. I like doing that, but you know, after you've had an experienced team, you tend to forget some of those that you have to cover with some young groups. So we're young. We're trying to be an inside-oriented team with Ryan Curl and Jesse Filippo. So we try to attack early inside, and our perimeter game isn't where it should be. We're not shooting the ball very well right now from the perimeter. So if we get those two things going for us, we're going to be a tough team coming down here in the league. We're improving defensively, and that's been a 2-month thing for us, is to get to the defense where it needs to get. And we're getting close. We're getting close. We're starting to get the loose balls that we didn't get early on. We're trying to attack the rebounds. So I think we're getting close. We're learning each game. We're getting better each game. And we've talked to the kids. We want to be when tournament comes, we want to be playing our best basketball.
John Willoughby, the coach of the Houston Wildcats, our guest this week. We'll come back and talk more about the 2011 team that went to the state tournament. We'll be back with that right after this word from Buckeye Insurance and the Coverman Dickerson Agency, Troy, Pickwick, Covington, and St. Paris. Stay tuned.
The Coverman Dickerson Agency, with offices in Troy, Pickwa, and Covington, is pleased to be the sponsoring Buckeye Insurance Group agent for this first-person interview. For farm, auto, and homeowner insurance, Coverman Dickerson is one of the area's fastest-growing Buckeye providers, with a history of service and competitive rates. And we're also an outstanding source of coverage for families with young drivers. For farm, auto, and home policies, call the Coverman Dickerson Agency, proud to represent Buckeye Insurance Group.
Welcome again, everybody, to this week's First Person with John Willoughby at Houston High School. One of the things we talked about, your style of play. You've never had Division I kids come out of here 7-footers. You've never had so much in terms of all-state talent, but your kids always play in the manner of which you like to play. They share the ball. They do the little things, as you say. That said, you've slipped up on a lot of people in district and regional tournament play in a few years. I remember that Laughlin game a few years ago, and of course last year you got through the regional. A lot of people have taken the Houston Wildcats for granted until they have to play them.
Right. We try to play it the right way. We try to be as aggressive as possible. We try to play good defense. We're basically a man-to-man team, so we teach those principles. And I appreciate you saying that you've watched us over the years and you like the way we play. We try to share a ball. I think if anything describes us, that we try to play as a team, and that encompasses a lot of things. Sharing the ball, team defense, getting along in the locker room, things like that. And I appreciate you noticing that because we work hard at it.
I want to talk about last year because every coach's dream is to get to that state tournament. You got through the region last year, a special group of kids. You played special. You had a great tournament run. And as the case, you got over there and, you ran into a really good basketball team. You didn't play very well that day, didn't shoot the ball very well, but they were a good team.
Right.
It's hard, isn't it, to appreciate that experience. Now, you and I haven't been able to talk about that yet. It's 9 months, 10 months after the fact now. Tell me about now when you look back on that and think about it.
It brings a smile to my face.
Of course it does.
It is a coach's dream. I've been dreaming of that. I go to the state tournament every year. I stay and watch the finals, and it makes me sad because I'm not down there, or my team isn't down there. Every coach has that feeling inside that they want to be there one day, and it's a special moment for everybody that was involved. And I played in it as a player in high school. I played in the NCAAs, and this was the third thing that made me feel real special. It was coaching a team in the state finals. As you said, we got off to a good start. I don't think we were nervous about things, but Harvest Prep was just that type of team where they were constantly on you. You could never get a breather. If you had the ball, you were locked down. And we missed some shots that we should have made, but I think that was because we were in the back of our mind, or we're out of the corner of our eye, they were right there. Yeah. And that makes you rush a little bit, makes you do some things you're not used to doing, but the experience was fantastic.
I'll tell you one thing, the following you had was fantastic. And again, it goes back to the fact that people appreciate here. One of the things about your coaching legacy here that you have to appreciate, you run into people from Houston everywhere. I mean, Miami, Shelby County, and everyone you run into always wants to talk about Houston basketball, how the team's doing, how John's doing, what's John going to have next year. How many more years can you do this?
I'm taking it 1 year at a time now,
You're doing the Wall Ross thing.
I do it 1 year at a time. With all the demands, the summertime has really got hectic. It takes a lot out of a coach anymore, is the summertime. But that's when we do a lot of neat things with the kids. We get to know the kids a lot better during the summertime. So that's an advantage that I look forward to in the summers. But, I take it 1 year at a time. I really do. And the coaches that I have help me out quite a bit, so I can count on them. It's not just me doing everything all the time. I have good help and good assistant coaches, so that makes it a lot easier for me. My family has been fantastic over all the years, so that's another thing that allows me to keep on going, and I can't say enough about my kids appreciating me coaching. They want me to coach. They're telling me, Dad, it wouldn't be the same. We want you to coach. So that makes it a lot easier, so I don't have to worry about that when I get home.
The record stands for itself, and that banner back there on the wall that says state finalist in 2011 says all you need to know about John Willoughby. I mean it. It's great to watch.
I appreciate it. Thanks. We try. We try as hard as we can, and I think that's the best thing people can say about us.
Love to come here and talk basketball. It's a lot of fun. That wraps up this week's edition of First Person with John Willoughby from Houston High School, and again presented by the Buckeye Insurance Group in Piqua and the Coverman Dickerson Agency representing those products in Troy, Piqua, Covington, and St. Paris. Join us again next time, and thanks again for your support at PressProsMagazine.com. We'll see you again next time on another edition of First Person.
If you are looking for quality insurance protection from a reliable company, sold by professionals, in communities like yours, that's what you'll get from Buckeye Insurance Group.
Buckeye Insurance Group, insuring the heartland.
To find your local Buckeye agent, visit buckeye-ins.com. Buckeye Insurance Group, insuring the heartland.
Insuring the heartland.